everyone, Lionheart here, and it is time for Chapter 5 of Dandelion's journey. Now today is patch day in 10.3, loads of amazing things happening, including a big buff to Firesworn, which feels like it fits in nicely with the journey story. Unlike in the story, I'm on Firesworn's side when I'm playing Gwent, but I certainly don't feel like I am in the story so far. I'm really enjoying this. While you're waiting for the patch to come out, why not hang out with us and listen to the brand new journey story? I think it's a great idea, and I certainly hope you do as well. If you're watching this live in the premiere, again, thank you so much. You know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. It means the absolute world to me. For anybody who chooses to listen to this at all, especially if you're sat chilling in the premiere with me. So a special hello to those of you that are. I really appreciate it. Remember guys, if you like the video, please consider liking the video and do subscribe to the channel as well. It's about 75% of viewers don't tend to subscribe to a channel, even if they've liked the video. There's loads of content coming up, especially with a brand new patch, so please do consider doing that. With that all being said, let's jump in to Chapter 5. The night was quieter than usual. Dandelion was getting used to the fact that after dark, the campus calmed down and student life moved to nearby taverns. But the omnipresent silence made him uneasy. He tried to keep up with Iriana as they walked around hornbeam trunks that ran along the avenue. After the fountain where young troubadours usually gathered, they turned into an alley leading to the library. "Professor de Lettenhoof, why were you actually looking for me?" she said. I heard about the Fistech and wanted to help. "So, shouldn't this be the moment where you tell me not to get into any more trouble?" she asked. Well, maybe I should, but my sympathy in this dispute is with you. Do what you want to do, and then stop all this madness. From then on, it's books, notes, sessions. It's life of an exemplary student. Do you hear? The library door squeaked and someone whistled. Iriana looked around, then pulled Dandelion's hand inside. Inside, two students whom Dandelion remembered from the campus were waiting for them. Hang, a freshman in history, opened the door. Patrick, a medical third-year student and one of Shani's favourites, stood as lookout down the hall. Dandelion recognised his storm of black curls immediately. Iriana took off her sandals and threw them into her pack-sack. Dandelion noticed that the other two students were also barefoot. He rolled his eyes and unlaced his shoes. They were between tables and shelves piled high with books. "Where do they keep taken books?" Iriana asked. Her whisper echoed through the main hall. "This way," said Dandelion, leading them to the scriptorium. The pile of confiscated works had grown significantly since his conversation with the censor. "They aren't wasting any time, are they?" said Iriana, running her finger across the documents on the table. Dandelion glanced over his shoulder. "Meditations?" he gasped. "As you can see, a lot of recent history is in danger as well. Look, Professor, the entire 5-book series on geopolitical consequences of the Thaned coup is to be erased? I would like to erase that trouble myself, so I don't mind, but meditations is an absurdity." Patrick went to the window and looked outside. "You don't plan to throw them out, do you?" asked Dandelion. Hung pushed a library cart into the scriptorium. "We'll load them onto it," he said, "and then we'll take it out the back exit." Iriana nodded and picked up a pile of books from the floor. "There is a passage in the wall behind the building," she said, "straight to the shore where San and Isengrim are waiting with the boat. They'll carry the cargo to the port, to the cordial hangman." Dandelion took off his hat and sighed. "Is it too late for me to change my mind and say don't get into trouble?" Iriana handed the books to Dandelion. "On the cart with it, Professor," she said. They finished loading the last batch and Hung pushed the cart out the door. "Let's not abuse the censor's hospitality," said Dandelion. "He's so easily offended." "Wait a minute," said Iriana. "I'll leave him a souvenir." The girl licked her lips and picked up a parchment from the desk. She whispered indistinctly. Her fingers folded into a simple gesture and the paper flickered. Dandelion saw the letters change shape, merging into one. A rather schematic drawing emerged from the chaos. "You can do magic?" he said. "A bit. I was Radcliffe's assistant." "And you use it to scrawl cocks in the censor's notebook?" "Oh, okay. I like her more." "Are you angry, Master de Lettenhoof?" "Are you kidding me? This is the best use of magic I've ever seen! And sorceress friend of mine once even cast a spell with her foot!" That's a note to the card. I love it. Okay. Patrick hissed and waved his hand. Somebody's coming. Well, that changed. Dandelion and Iriana hopped onto the windowsill and pressed their noses to the glass. A man was walking towards the library from the Philosopher's Gate. It's Master Alonsius, said Dandelion. Iriana hissed. Does this fossil have nothing better to do? If he finds us here, it'll all be for nothing. Respect the professor's gown, whispered Dandelion. What? Doesn't matter. Iriana scratched her forehead and rubbed her hands together. Too bad, I'll make something up. I'll go talk to him until Hung gets back, then get out. You've done enough already, Dandelion said, adjusting his hat. Let me do the talking. Apparently. I'm pretty good at it. Dandelion ran out of the library door and spread his mouth into a wide smile he usually uses when collecting money after performances. Oh, Master Alonsius, what a surprise. Professor Lettenhoof. The librarian shook away his shock. And what are you doing here at this hour? Barefooted? Dandelion glanced at his feet. You won't believe it, but I misplaced my shoes here. Somewhere. The librarian shook his head. Really, Professor, you should set an example. After graduating, you lectured poetry for a year, correct? Well, you probably don't remember, but our paths crossed back then. I was an assistant librarian. Later, after you left the college, I heard stories of your exploits. Dandelion was silent. Alonsius smiled and looked at the Philosopher's Gate. I hardly ever went outside these walls, and I envied you, Master Lettenhoof. I was jealous of the adventures and journeys that took you to the ends of the world. What you saw there, you have an extraordinary life, and you're squandering it all. Dandelion heard a soft whistle. This was the prearranged signal. Zana's boat had turned towards the port as agreed. The world beyond the walls is overwhelming, Master, he said. I've travelled quite a bit, and I know what I'm talking about. I found friends on the trail, but then I lost them. Almost everyone. I don't know if you have anything to envy. Alonsius smiled and wagged his finger. This is not the end of the journey. The song has not yet finished. You'll see that I'm right. Well, if I'm going someplace, I'll need to find my shoes first. Be well, Master Alonsius. Goodbye, Dandelion. Ooh! Ooh! Okay, a little bit more to Master Alonsius than I expected. I kind of cracked up in the middle of that. I'm not going to lie. I am really, really warming to Iriana, and I desperately want a Gwent card for Iriana now. Because you know what? She sounds brilliant. I'm completely on board with her. I'm loving the way this story is developing. The characters are starting to have that realness to them, which I absolutely adore. If you like this, we are nearly halfway through the journey story. That was Chapter 5. Chapter 6 will be coming next week. Every single Tuesday, they live premiere here on my YouTube channel, and they are obviously available for you then forever. Every journey story that has ever been, I have narrated, and there are playlists for you. Make sure you're here next week for Chapter 6 as we reach the halfway mark. Thank you for being here, guys. As always, a special thank you if you're here in the live premiere. Love you all. Enjoy Patch Day if you are watching this live, and I will see you same time, same place next week. Bye, guys.